Okay, so let's film a little my thoughts on dancing with my van, a living van life so far. But first, let's set up this light because it is getting pretty dark in here. This came with batteries included. Crazy, because that doesn't happen with literally any piece of electronics ever, am I right? Okay, so I don't know how that is for lighting, but we'll see what happens. I don't know how the sound is going to be on this video. That's first and foremost. I really need to get a new... this lighting is going to be horrible. I need to get a new phone or a new way to record because... Is there a way to hang this on my... Oh, that's perfect. Look at that lighting. Ting! So I'm filming in my van. I'm down at Centene Park in Brockville. This is where I recorded that ship coming in my last video. But I need to get a new phone or a digital camera or something because the microphone on this one only works properly when I'm filming on TikTok, and half the time when I'm filming on my cell phone like this, just on the camera app, it just stops working. Or it's like, as you guys have probably heard in some of my previous videos. I do my best going through every single audio clip trying to like edit out all of the cuts that sound horrible. But anyways, so far van life has been, it kind of feels like a little existential life crisis at most moments, because I'm like, do I want to do this? Am I actually doing this? Am I doing the damn thing? What, like, there's just like, it feels so ungrounded and unsettling, especially living in a town. Now, one big thing is that I need to get over, like, people looking at me or staring at me all day long, because that's going to happen everywhere you go when you are traveling in a van. And also, I purchased a gym membership so that I can work out, but mostly so that I can use the bathrooms and the showers at the gym. And that is something I still have yet to get over the fear of. I've had a fear of gyms my entire life, so I was like, yeah, that's perfect. Just get a gym membership, go to Planet Fitness, get the PF Black card. It's like 30 bucks a month. Yeah, but what happens when you are afraid of the gym? I need to decide if I'm going to have like a home base, because I still have a job working in retail part-time as a supervisor slash in lower level management in Belleville, Ontario, and I haven't formally quit that job yet, and I still like can't make that decision. I love my coworkers, but I really need to make the final decision over whether I'm going to keep the job or leave. If I keep the job, I have to kind of stay floating in this area or stay in Belleville. And if I leave the job, I am free to start traveling all over the place. However, keeping in mind that traveling in Magical Mrs. Mistopheles, that is the name of my van, is very expensive on gas, especially if I'm going to keep all of this stuff in here, which brings me to my next item of business, is I can't decide if I want to get a storage locker, because then I have to go, like, a storage locker would be very useful to have in a town if I'm going to be staying around that town. But I can't find like any nature areas where there's free camping around here. It's basically trying to stealth camp on residential areas, which it's very busy for a residential area. It's a small town and every inch of the town is occupied in Brockville and in Belleville. But it's either that or like staying in Walmart parking lots, which is not ideal. However, it would be nice to have a storage locker and be able to just go to and from the storage locker because I'm in that area, so that I can use the things that are in the storage locker. But that's not very practical in an area like this. So I was thinking, do I want to put my stuff in a storage locker and then not be able to access it unless I'm around Brockville, and just never be around Brockville, so my stuff is just sitting in a storage locker rotting while I pay for it every month? Things to think about. Some of my window coverings that I showed you guys, my like wannabe Thermaltech window coverings, some of them did not work out so well. The ones that look like they're made of Bubble Tech, they were by Mastercraft, and I just kind of cut out that material. It's black on one side and shiny on the other already. Those ones work perfectly. However, the ones that I was making that were like out of the other flimsy Dollarama window coverings with like the black vinyl on the other side, those don't stay in the window for shit. I would have to like tape them in, Velcro them in or something. And I wanted something that just kind of pops in that I can just take out in the morning and put beside my bed. But yeah, I I'm kind of leaning on the side of clearing out everything and donating as much as possible before I even decide to entertain the idea of a storage locker. But the double-edged sword of that is it's so hard to organize all of this crap when I don't have a storage locker or anywhere to organize it when it is the middle of January and it is a minus 11 Celsius here in Canada, which is about 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty mild for a January, honestly, but still really, really cold to be sorting your stuff out in the middle of the parking lot. So, thoughts from here. I have considered traveling east. If I travel east, I will get to Ottawa, which is like the worst town ever to drive through. It sucks for driving. There's nowhere to park, so I definitely would not be doing any overnighting in Ottawa. And then you get into Quebec, which is like no man's land for me. I have no idea what it's like legally and politically in Quebec because Quebec is a little bit different from the rest of the country and I don't speak very fluent French. So we'd see how that goes. Basically, it's about 2 hours from here, I think, maybe even less, maybe an hour and a half to the Quebec border and then like 2.5 hours to Montreal. And then you could go like a couple hours to Quebec City. I have never explored the rest of the East Coast. I don't know if that's a wise idea to head east, more east, in the middle of the winter, just because they do get some pretty wild snowstorms out there, I hear. But I would love to see Halifax, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, all those different provinces that I've never been to before. And they're not too far away. I could probably get there with like a couple, maybe $500 worth of gas. That's a crazy amount of gas for how short of a distance that is, but this beast guzzles a lot of gas, especially when she's full to the brim. But I don't know, you guys. So far, I haven't been spending a crazy amount of money. Just basically food. I spend $30 a month on my gym membership. I bought this Jackery here, which I charge mostly when I am driving through the 12-volt like cigarette lighter, or I just charge it at like a McDonald's, a Tim Hortons, or visiting a friend's house, that kind of thing. And it's been pretty much good enough for me for power so far. I charge my laptop off of here, I charge my cell phone from here, and I also power my heating pad when I want to have a heating pad at night, which so far was only the one night, but it was perfect and went through the entire night, and it was great. So I think that's perfect so far. I also have a like butane stove, which I haven't found the perfect pot yet. I want to buy like a pot that I can use that's very, very small that I can use as just like my one cooking dish that's for like on the flame. But I want it to be something that I actually really like, that one item. I want all of the dishes that I have, which is going to be like a very, very tiny amount of dishes. I want everything to be like something nice. So it's very minimalistic, but also something that I can cherish. But yeah, that's van life so far for me, you guys. It has been exciting. It's definitely not so much glamorous yet. Hoping that it will be. I would love to do some more van life traveling through the States, but I think I would need to do a little bit more research. I need to get a passport first as well, and I would need to make sure that this van is in very good condition before I leave the literal country. And also, I think that I would want to empty this out because going across the border with a van that is just unorganized, full to the ceiling with stuff is going to be very heat, and I'm going to not want to be pulled over at, like, border security going through with my van. That does not sound like a very fun time. But that is my update so far. It's definitely doable. It's definitely like, you're not gonna die from the freezing cold if you are smart about how you're going to be sleeping. Like, a blanket is not gonna cut it minus 11, but like a minus 10 thermal mummy sleeping bag and having extra heat sources when you need them, that might just work. It's working for me so far. But I also started a Patreon, you guys. I will leave that in the description box as well. So far, I've never mentioned it here on my channel yet, but I spent the evening setting that up so that I have a Patreon if you want to support me here on my channel. I think the lowest tier is like $3. And, yeah, that's just like as a little way if you guys want to support me over there. You definitely don't have to. I'm super thankful for all of you guys that tune in and watch these videos and have been supporting my channel so far. There's 30 people here in this little community already, and that is super exciting because I literally just started posting on this channel a couple weeks ago. So thank you to all of you guys that have been supporting me so far. This is Van Life. This is Dancing with My Van, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, I guess. See you later.